So, it's Masters Week. Hi guys, my name is Peter Finch and welcome down to my Masters preview show. Now there's so many Masters preview shows out there, I wanted to make this one slightly different. And the first thing we're going to do is a giveaway. So Adidas have given me Dustin Johnson scripting to give away to you guys. And these are the outfits that he's going to be wearing on Thursday, Friday, hopefully Saturday and Sunday as well, presuming that he makes the cut. And whoever wins is going to get these 4 outfits: trouser, belt, shirt and cap. So all you need to do to enter this contest is simply like the video, be a subscriber to the channel, so like and subscribe, and then comment below with your favourite thing about the Masters. So it could be the pimento cheese sandwich, it could be the cheap concessions in general. Can you tell that I'm a little bit hungry? It could be Tiger's famous chip in on the 16th, it could be a certain hole, it could be a certain memory. Whatever it is, comment below. And I'll be doing the draw the week after the Masters. Now there's so many videos out there previewing the Masters, I'm going to do something slightly different. So I chatted to Adrian from the tour team at TaylorMade and basically how he helps players prepare for the Masters and some of the things that they work on. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump straight into that video and have a chat to Adrian.
Augusta's quite unique during the season because it's played at the same venue every year, and it is a place which is, you know, a lot of the things are controllable, you know, in terms of, you know, what the fairways are going to be like, what the bunkers are going to be like. They control the greens very well with their sub-air systems, so you kind of know what to expect. So when it comes to prepping players, a lot of the work is actually done in the week. So we would get there Sunday before the Masters, and we would work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the players. And during that time, players will be looking at, you know, what's the weather going to be like for the week? What are the predictions with the wind? And then when you turn that into what kind of equipment they're going to need, we'll then make all the adjustments that week. So yeah, so when it comes to prepping beforehand and in the run-up, I think it's very predictable, and it's, you know, it's kind of what shot shapes you're going to need off the tees and what specific golf clubs, you know, you're going to need. But when it comes to, you know, actually preparing for the, you know, the fire of playing the Masters, it's all done, you know, pretty much when they know what the week's going to look like.
So when Adrian talks about having the same course pretty much every year, what he's not talking about is the multiple changes that they make seemingly all the time. So for example, this is the 2018 course planner that I picked up when I was there last year. Have I mentioned that I went to the Masters last year? I don't think I have. So yeah, I went to the Masters last year, and this is the 5th hole, so this is Magnolia. Now as you can see here, it's a 455 yard par 4, but just notice where the tee is there. And what I'm going to do here is pull up a couple of pictures that have been shared on social media about where they've actually moved the tee to. Because what they've done is basically bought the road which sat behind the 5th tee, rerouted it, redid it, and have moved the tee. When you're Augusta, you can literally do whatever you want. So even though the course does stay predominantly the same every single year, they're always tweaking, they are always changing.
When we look at how a specific player would play the golf course, we're able to dig deep into the data, dig deep into strokes gained, and that player's specific game to help him set up his equipment. A clear stat that's come out of the data is that if you hit the fairway, you have a 25% higher chance of hitting the green. That's a very high percentage, you know. So when it puts the emphasis on hitting the green, you know, you've got to look at accuracy and accuracy off the tee. Normally, players, you know, need to play the Masters multiple times to kind of get accustomed to the golf course and feel comfortable. But you look at John, who's only played it, you know, it's only his 2nd time he's played it. He's able to take all this data and all these analytics, which really puts you far ahead of somebody trying to gain experience, going back year after year after year, trying to play with the older guys in the field, trying to play with the more experienced guys. Once a player and his team goes really deep into it, you see where the equipment fits, as opposed to, you know, somebody doing something different in their golf swing. Yeah, take a look at this. So, you know, we've got some very smart people in our R&D department, and, you know, every time we need help from them, they throw all this data and all this information at us, you know. Give you an example, you know, if you want to hit the green, you've got a 25% more chance of hitting it from the fairway. And, you know, for example, on 18, if you hit the fairway, you know, your scoring can be improved by half a shot, which is huge. You know, everybody talks about putting, everybody talks about how, you know, how important it is to putt well, but, you know, the stats show that a 3-putt is fine, and typically the leading player averages 1 3-putt around at the Masters.
So when Adrian is talking through the data that they use to help the players prepare for the Masters, that little bit, that little screenshot that he showed me, that was only part of the presentation that they actually gave to the players, which I couldn't actually show you guys because of confidentiality reasons. And no, I'm serious, I couldn't show you because of that. But I could tell you some of the things that were actually in there. Now that's a very, very, very small amount of the details that they gave. That's almost like a slight summary on one of the pages. But one of the pages and one of the things that they were doing for the players is breaking the holes down. I'll show you. So for example, this is the 10th hole, and what they did with the fairway, they broke it down into grids, maybe about, I don't know, 5 meters squared, something like that. And then what they did, they had them different shades to actually show what the scores were from those different grids. So if someone hit it into this particular grid, that's generally the score that they would make. If they hit it into this particular grid, that's generally the score they would make, and so on and so forth. So you could literally break down a tee shot as far as positioning is concerned, and then show a player exactly how likely they were to make certain scores from those areas. The level of detail and the level of preparation that the top players go into is something which I don't think is talked about enough, because I think a lot of credit is given to players. You know, we all know they're amazing talents and they have fantastic skills, but the amount of detail that some of them go into is incredible. You've obviously got to have the talent to hit it in those certain positions, but yeah, it makes a difference.
To give you an example, last year we did a lot of work with John Rahm and his 3-wood. He felt that he's, if you look at the way he delivers the golf club and his shot shaping, he's not a big drawer of the golf ball. He moves the ball from left to right. But specifically for Augusta, John Rahm needed a club which he could draw, which he could turn over from right to left, and he found that giving him the best chance to do that was to fit a 3-wood, something with a little bit more loft. So we went into a high launch head. He's a very strong player, so trying to find accuracy and distance, we were able to break that up into kind of just trying to find accuracy and the shot shape. And we did that with a high launch 3-wood with a little bit more loft that he could feel like he could turn over a bit more. He finished, John Rahm finished 4th last year, yeah. So I remember this clearly because the week after the Masters, he turned up in Spain and he won the Spanish Open. So what's the question?
Just the picks to win there.
My picks to win.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if Rory didn't win. I think his games, in place to win. And when you look at, kind of what he was struggling with last year, and still managing to be in the final group on Sunday, and knowing how his game is shaping up this year and the type of, we talk about the shot shaping again and the ability to hit certain shots with ease. I think Rory wins Augusta National 2019.
So I'm going to find it hard to disagree with Adrian there. I do think Rory is going to do it this year. Be amazing to see the big cat win, but who do you think? Comment below. Comment your favourite and then comment your more outside pick.
So when preparing golf clubs from an equipment standpoint, to give you an example, on the first hole at Augusta, it's more important to hit the fairway than to hit it 300 yards plus. So a player who's really straight with his driver would be able to hit driver on there because he knows that he's got a good enough chance of hitting the fairway as if he hits his 3-wood. But if a player is, struggling with accuracy or he feels like he needs to hit the fairway, we know statistically that somebody who hits it more than 298 versus somebody who hits it less than 298, as long as they're in the fairway, the chances of scoring on that hole are good. The layout at Augusta favours a draw for a right-hander and a fade for a left-hander majority of the time. What we'll do with the players' equipment, like for example with their drivers, we'll start to move the weights a little bit more into the draw setting. It helps them turn the ball over easier. It doesn't necessarily do it for them, but yeah, I remember the first time I worked with Rory McIlroy and we were, it must have been 2 or 3 years ago. And he was so in tune with his golf swing that we were moving these weights up to, a centimetre at a time, and you could see the change in the ball flight.
I just can't wait for this week to get going. It is for me still the start of the season. I know it's a wraparound tour now, and it doesn't really make sense for this to be the start of the season anymore, but for a lot of people it is. Certainly the weather is changing for a lot of us in the Western world, and it is just that time to get going again. I know other parts of the world might not see it the same way, but certainly for people in the UK and a large parts of the US, you know, the snows are melting, the weather's clearing up a little bit, and it is time to get out on the course. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit too excited. But guys, please comment below as well. Let me know your favourite moments of the Masters. Get yourself entered into that competition as well to win DJ scripting. Just want to say a big thank you to Adrian for giving me his time just to talk through something maybe a little bit different about the Masters and how the players are preparing, and hopefully you have learned something from that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the Masters if you're there. Please send me pictures, and if you're just watching at home like I am, then yes, settle in, turn off your phone, and enjoy the spectacle. Right guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.